Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking. So, today we're going to talk about a subject that's been floating around lately, and a new news announcement was made. I got this information, and you may have seen some of this, but I got my information from an investigative reporter at Vice News. So I don't know if you follow Vice at all, but Vice really has some pretty amazing investigative people that go out and dig down deeply. And sometimes they find some really good stuff. So they did. And I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. And this subject has to do with UFOs. As you know, the last few months, we've had, videos of Navy planes that I've seen had some spectacular video of them tracking and following UFOs from aircraft, which, I guess it's called, some of them are called the Tic Tac, and there's been other ones from the Navy especially. So anyways, Vice, and of course, let me back up a minute. There were these congressional hearings that have gone on. There was two major ones. Basically, I wasn't overly excited about the results. They seemed to acknowledge that there's something out there, but they didn't really come out and say they were maybe not of human origin. So they were kind of dancing around. It's typical, but there seemed to be some greater urgency and greater interest in the subject matter coming directly from the Congress and the government at large. Even though we all know, I'll tell you many times over, I obviously believe 100%, 110% that UFOs exist and aliens exist, period. Okay? I'm not a skeptic at all. But anyways, the government's been dancing a lot. But what Vice found was that in let me make sure I get this right. It was in a report. It was actually an addendum. It's from the Intelligence Authorization Act for Fiscal Year 2023. So that would mean this would be appropriations money for these projects. Okay. So in these projects, it's basically the budgets that govern these projects. Congress made two, and as they put it, startling claims. First one was an interesting term that I had never heard, actually, not in these words. And the term is cross-domain transmedium threats. Okay, so let me explain this, and maybe this is a good point to stop and go into a little bit of a sidebar story. Probably about 15 years ago, when I was doing work at some aerospace companies in Southern California, I came across a guy that worked there. He was a retired Navy guy. He was a sailor. I'm not too sure what he did in this particular case. This was an aircraft carrier. But what he told me was that he was stationed they were off of Southern California, off of the LA area, probably 150, 200 miles. I'm not 100% sure the exact number. He probably told me 153 or something. But anyways, they were out there, and one evening, and it wasn't that far off of the deck, they saw this huge UFO come out of the water and basically shot out of the water and ended up flying, obviously through our atmosphere. And what he said, it just seemed like it went into space. So that description that I just gave you, that's what a what do they say again? The cross domain transmedium ship is. That's what it is. It's going from the ocean to our atmosphere into outer space, all in one swift move. So that's what it is, and that's kind of a new term to me. Maybe other people, maybe you guys, some of you have heard of it before. I never did. This is a new one to me, but it's quite an interesting term. So it actually says it very concisely what's going on here. So the one claim, there's two claims that they talked about in this addendum. One said that the threat to national security is expanding exponentially. And I guess the bottom line of that, it's expanding rapidly. So they're making an acknowledgement that whatever this is, okay, and there's implications that it is not human made, it's not man made, okay? This is alien made, okay? So what they want to do basically is they want to go ahead and they want to separate those sightings from man-made, potentially man-made sightings. And they want one part of the government to go ahead and check those out, and this other part that this budget money is for the check basically the UFOs, okay? And they apparently are feeling that these are a threat, and they do exist, okay? And I know you're going to say I just said that, but that is the truth, okay? That's what the government, that's what's going through their mind right now. I know it. I absolutely know it. So, this whole admission of these ships, okay, is pretty interesting because of all the other stuff's been going on. And what is interesting is that with this additional information, you can almost see that the politicians are basically just falling short of actually coming out and saying that some of these sightings, some of these UFOs are definitely of alien origin. We're right at that point. We're right there. And I don't exactly know what's going to take for them to come out and say that, of course. But what I'm telling you is, this is huge news. This is really huge news. And I've talked about the first time I talked about the hearings, I said it's going to be this drip, drip, drip. Yes, it absolutely is going to be the drip, drip, drip. And this is a big drip. This is a huge drip, I think, anyways. So, anyways, the standard line that Congress has gone on for many years, actually, has always been that, they look like these UFOs, UAPs, whatever they want to call them, was always advanced man-made vehicles. They didn't know what country they came from, etc. But I think that's turning, and they're going to say, no, it's not man-made. Yes, it's probably alien. It's not there yet. Now, Barack Obama just recently, or when I say recently, it may have been 6 months, 8 months ago by now, actually made a statement. I think it was James Corden on the Late Show asked Barack Obama, what about UFOs? And, it's kind of those cute little questions the Late Show people ask the presidents when they get them to come on. And I'm sure Biden will eventually be asked the same question. But he basically dodged it. But he did say there seems to be a lot of really interesting stuff up in the sky that a lot of people are seeing. So that may be Obama's way of saying, something's up there, and it's probably pretty important too. It's definitely strange. There's no doubt about that. So, anyways, the Pentagon has announced that it's going to open up this office called All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. Okay, and that's going to basically investigate these threats from these ships that they're calling probably alien. Now, they didn't use those exact words, but that's exactly what they're saying, okay? So, anyways, that is that. But another interesting one is in the Senate, Marco Rubio made a comment I thought was kind of interesting. He wants the UFOs, these strange ones, that the ones that are flying out of the ocean or flying through the air and then into space, kind of one swift swoop. He wants them to be alien. He does not want them to be foreign weapons. Now that's just interesting that he would say something like that. It's almost kind of priming us to say, well, when we tell you that it's aliens, we told you, in so many words, I told you. So he's been pretty concerned about that. I think I mentioned in another video that my feelings are he's had some interesting sightings or encounters or something in his past, and that's why he's like right up there in the Senate, anyways. Some of those other hearings were more in the House. So, anyways, he seems to have always been interested in the UFO thing. So, anyways, it looks to me very strongly that there is a shift in Congress, that we're talking about two groups of UFOs. One is the man-made, potential man-made, which could be some of our advanced technologies, or maybe Russia's or China's. I can't think of too many other ones that are really in the game, okay? Or aliens, extraterrestrial, interdimensional type beings. Those are it. And I think it's going to start, as time goes on, and it seems to be a little quicker than I actually thought, okay? Because the drip has gotten bigger, okay? I think it's definitely going to start showing those two different groups, distinguishing them, okay? And the stress and all the money is going to go to the alien side. The other ones, they're going to keep a watch on it, because I'm sure some of it could be Russian technology, some could be China, etc., or our own, basically, that we don't want to talk about. So anyways, I don't want anybody to make no mistake in this. There definitely is this. This is really kind of a pretty explosive. It is not gigantous, but it is a pretty explosive statement. Okay, them separating, putting one group together, looking at the UFO ships. Okay. So Congress has given these, and the final thing I want to just say, Congress has given the Pentagon, and asking them only to focus on the UFOs that were not designed by humans, or were not designed by humans. So they're looking at the others. They're looking at alien UFOs, bottom line. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you that. I thought it's an important development. I'm sure you're going to hear more about it. I'm sure when this video comes down, you probably have heard something before it. But anyways, that's kind of the bottom line here. And so I will expect in the next few months, with everything else going on in the world, it seems like we're in a period of, and I like to do a video on it, of very rapid fire news. We got political stuff going on. We got election. We got all this stuff swirling around that, right? We got climate change. We just got a lot of stuff. I mean, really, it's just bombardments, one after another. It's just incredible. Now, one more thing in ending, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I don't want to say I'm going to guarantee it. I feel pretty strongly when I say this. I believe that some classified documents that were at Mar-a Lago, and I'm not going to bring up names or what that all means, but by now you should know what Mar-a Lago means, okay? Some of those documents had UFO information in it, okay? You can mark my word on it, in fact, okay? We'll see if it ever comes out. It may take years, but I believe there was some of that information in that top secret information that ended up there, and we'll assume that the FBI's got it back now. So anyways, it's really going to be quite a swirl and quite a whirl. So with all that said, that's it. As Roy Rogers said, well, before Roy Rogers says that, let's do this. We need your subscriptions. If you want to comment. If you like us, like us. You can send us private emails to dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. And now we're going to go to Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers says, happy trails until we meet again. Bye-bye.